So my name is Marko. I am running. The short answer is because I have a young son and I've got another little boy on the way due September 13th. And that's been putting a lot of issues coming up to the forefront for me. So my platform consists of creating safer streets where I live in New Bedford in the ward, which will lead to stronger communities. It involves higher investments in public spaces, primarily for children, public parks, fully funded libraries, and more investment in our schools. And the third part of my platform is about a path to ownership of both homes for New Bedford citizens and businesses for New Bedford citizens. I think folks here have a lot to offer. And if you're in the city as a teacher, a police officer, a nurse, you should be able to afford a home in the city. So that's one of the major things I'm discussing as I'm meeting folks. I think for me it's tough. I noticed in the last round of budgeting, the city council did eliminate a lot from the schools. It was the single biggest cut. While I do understand that there are administrative positions, some places where you can trim in a school, that would not be a priority of mine. I want to ensure that schools are fully funded. I think historically New Bedford schools have been underfunded, so I don't think that is a spot I would start. I would look at other parts of the way we're using our existing dollars. I would look at the way we're spending on infrastructure, and obviously fire, safety, EMS. I think those are places I'd want to maintain investment, but we'd want to be looking line by line for anything that we could cut, but schools would be a last priority. That's a great question and probably something that I have the least experience in. I'm not a politician. I'm not looking to be a career-long politician. And I do read the newspaper. I see a lot of infighting between the offices. That is something that I would try to avoid. I think there's room for civility. I think we're all going after the same sorts of things. And we all want what's best for New Bedford. So I would, maintain the effect of the city council when it comes to holding the mayor's office accountable. But I would also strive to keep things above board and work together. That's a great question. So one would be investment in the Kings Highway area and in the North End in general, thanks to the train. The train's finally arrived. Since I've lived in New Bedford, everybody's been talking about when the train comes. So I think doubling down on efforts to attract businesses to the North End and revamp some of that Kings Highway area would be a big thing for me. Other things are, like I've said from the beginning, safe streets leading to stronger neighborhoods. I want environments in the North End where people are using walkable streets, people are meeting neighbors. I want neighbors to know each other. I want parents to know each other. When more people are walking, when more people are out in public, it's going to lead to better outcomes and more pride in the city. So safer streets for sure. And then the other big one is public spaces. I think, you've seen in the news lately, we haven't always wanted to fund our libraries. I think places like libraries, schools, and public parks should be, an area of pride for the city. And if I was, lucky enough to win my seat here in Ward 1, I would double down on efforts to maintain those places.